Well, this is actually where I do a lot of my seed collection, which is just here at the kitchen table. I have my purple Lycopus and a pair of bonsai scissors, which I just dropped. Let me grab those. And weirdly, the reason I'm making this video is because I noticed something while I'm cleaning these seeds. As soon as I strip them off of the plant, it produces an almost fruity-like smell. Now, usually I say it produces sort of a potpourri sort of scent to it, but it's very much fruity, like ripe strawberries or blueberries or something. Very faint still, and still pretty much like what it would smell like for potpourri. Like, you can still get the potpourri notes in there, but all I do is clip the little leaves off, which I could just wait until they fall off, but I'm impatient. I could also just pull them off with my hands, but there's our Lycopus stalk. Now, if you walk around in the woods or near stream banks or anything, you'll probably recognize that. And while I'm doing this, it just smells like spiced apples or something. Like, very potpourri still, but it has such a fruity scent to it. Which is strange, because most Lycopus are known for just having a sort of bitter smell to them, or even no smell to them at all. But that is very much a fruity scent I am getting from these. And you might think, well, you just hopped out the shower, your hair is wet. It is very much not that. Like, as soon as I'm stripping the plant, I'm getting a huge whiff of it. And even in this container, shake it up a little, it's fruity potpourri scent. I still don't know what's going on with my hair. But yeah, pretty much a lot of my nights this fall I'm just kind of spending here at the table working with plants, collecting seeds, mostly native seeds. I got another seed case coming in the mail on Saturday from the Amazon, of course, because it's cheap and easy. But yeah, I also am color coding my seeds, so we got the kind of pinkish reddish thing here. That's our non-native invasives, our culinary herbs that might be able to spread, like Marubium vulgare is on here. That's white horehound, not related to water horehound, the Lycopus, and really anything other than family, but distantly related, I guess. And our green is our native plants. Now, obviously, I still have a bunch that aren't done yet. Just kind of waiting for some other stuff to come in the mail. It'll actually be organizing seeds, because I think it'll be twice as many vials, some of them bigger vials. So it'll be different stuff in there. Probably Asteraceae. I have a lot of Asteraceae seeds right now. But yeah, basically, most nights are like this anymore, and it'll probably be like that until literally the dead of winter. Even then, I'm sure I'll find something to do, because I like doing this. But we can just kind of sit here and I can talk at the screen. I did a few streams, 2 streams in the same day, because I don't know how they work. Like the shorts streams, I really don't understand how they work. So if you have any idea how those work, I'd love to hear about it, because I just don't understand them. I'd like to do regular streams, but I don't know that I can just yet. Not sure. But yeah, sort of a podcast style of thing I'd like to do here, just through the winter, to kind of pass the time, fill the silence of waiting around for hunting seasons and stuff. Still getting really fruity smell off of here. I tried the leaves, tried smelling these. Kind of potpourri, kind of, it just smells like a lawn that's full of weeds. Like slightly herbal, but mostly just green. A lot of these seeds I don't think are ripe, but a lot of them are. And they may ripen as they just dry out here. Basically, that's all I was waiting for. Usually you would tell when these are ripe by the fact that they lack a lot of the leaves and stuff. And a lot of these do. Kind of feel like it's worth noting that these have a different look to them, these seed clusters, so I feel like that could be diagnostic, but not sure, because Lycopus seems to be pretty understudied genus. I'm sure, hey, maybe even one of you guys knows anything about Lycopus. I know the South, some states in the South supposedly have large populations of Lycopus sherardii? Yeah, Lycopus sherardii, I think it is. I'm assuming they're clonal populations, so I don't know if these are sherardii. But if you have any information on Lycopus that I can't seem to find, I'd love to hear about it. I really would. Lycopus is such an interesting genus to me. Not just because I think this one is an completely understudied or, unknown hybrid, but just some really interesting forms, and they're all swamp-related plants. Well, they all grow in a swamp or in riparian zones. This one specifically comes from a riparian zone in the mountains, weirdly enough. Where the mountain that I've been on, I'm almost positive that every other Lycopus up there is Lycopus uniflorus, but I think I did find some Virginicus, but I'm skeptical of that. You can hear the dog barking. They're not used to me talking. I don't talk much. Or maybe there's someone outside, I have no idea. Getting a pretty good group of seeds here. But yeah, this pot will just go back outside after this to overwinter. There's potential that I could try and divide it, but I have a bunch of other little ones that I'd like to divide. I didn't get any seeds off of my Lycopus uniflorus this year. I think what happened to it is I honestly don't know. It either didn't get enough water or I over-fertilized it, which I think I might have over-fertilized it. Also, the fertilizer I used was not a great fertilizer. I know I've gotten a few questions about that. Not the best fertilizer. Just something cheap that I found on sale. I think it was like $8. And I didn't even use half the bag this year. Which is another thing about native plants. You don't really have to fertilize them as frequently as bigger, showier plants. Like, these things will come back every year, probably for 3 or 4 years. And all I put them in is regular old Miracle Grow potting mix. Now, for other plants, and some of the bigger native plants, lasts about 2 years, 2.5 years before the soil kind of runs out of energy, and thus the plant runs out of energy. If it was more feasible, I would put these seeds under a microscope, or at least put the part that has the calyx, which the calyx is in here with the seeds. I put that under a microscope, like the whole fruit under a microscope, and kind of look at the calyx shape because it is very hard to see with the naked eye. And it's a diagnostic feature, but I don't think that's going to happen this year. There's always next year. Could maybe even throw these under a microscope and we could see what we see. But not this time around. Just kind of want to get these cleaned up. Not even cleaned up necessarily. I'm just going to kind of put these all in this container, and then they're going to dry out. And then they'll go into one of these vials. I actually have the 2024 one here. Labeled it Lycopus Purple. This will be backwards for you guys. Lycopus Purple 10/5/2025. So we're actually behind schedule right now. That's the one that I actually used to start all of those small pots of Lycopus that I've shown periodically through my time here on YouTube. So yeah, they came from that jar. It was actually in a paper pouch that I made up until a few days ago, before I got my stickers, obviously, because it has a white lid. But yeah, so we're actually pretty far behind on the seed collection on these, which is strange, because a lot of them were still green and really don't seem that ripe. It's kind of overwhelming. Like, it's hard to describe what it smells like. It's like if you took a spiced apple and rubbed it in some dirt with some cinnamon. I don't know. It's hard to see, but that's how much we got off of that. There's probably more on the little plants, but as of right now, probably just going to leave those alone. These seeds, yeah, they're really sticky. There's a lot of the green ones in here, so if I were to store these would actually probably mold. And it's a good smell. I like that smell. It's weird. It's weird that people think Lycopus doesn't have a smell to it. It most definitely does. It's a very cinnamon, potpourri, apple sort of smell. I wonder what chemical it is. Basically, that's all I wanted to show you. So, if you actually made it for the whole almost 13 minutes into this thing, I really appreciate you. You should consider subscribing, dropping a like, and leaving a comment about what you thought about the video or any thoughts that you might have.